Jack, no series is ever easy, but the fact that you guys were able to respond after Game 3 and find a way to win this series, is it good to go through that adversity as early as you guys did and allow it to go into the next round?
Yeah, I thought it showed a lot of resiliency from our group, and got to give us a lot of credit. And give them a lot of credit. I thought they threw a ton at us. Obviously in Game 2 and 3, we probably gave them a little too much, and want to try and hunker down defensively and make them earn what they got. And I think as the series went on, we made it tougher on them, and just a ton of credit to the group. Finding a way to win, win, and at the end of the day, that's all that matters this time of year.
For Jack, how good was that pass, that area pass Stone sent?
Yeah. I mean, it's great. He just lets me skate right into it, and it was a great play by him, great play by Naber in our own zone, and able to attack off of a turnover, and Stoney makes a great play. It was big goal.
For Jack, what went so well against that first line today, and then how easy is it to defend with those two on your wings?
Oh, I mean, I think when you throw Carl in the mix, obviously it gives you a little, little help down low, and somebody who, plays the center ice position naturally and can take draws, and depending on who's first back in the zone, can play low, and I think we all know Stoney's game and how good he can be, defensively with his stick, and so that line, gave us a lot of problems throughout the series, and give them a lot of credit. Those three they create a lot. They create a lot off the rush. They get a lot of pucks to the net, and it was good for us to, try and shut them down. It's a big part of their offense, and I think you got to give the whole group a ton of credit. I think everyone stepped up at different parts of the series and found ways to contribute, and that's how you win this time of year.
Shea, Aiden's been very good in these moments. He was again tonight, one of your best players. Can you just talk about what you saw from him tonight, and him yet again stepping up in kind of a moment like this?
For sure. I think he's been kind of battling as the playoffs go on, but I think over the years he's shown that he steps up in big moments, and I think down the stretch he made a couple of huge saves, which kind of helped give us that confidence, and it's good to see him kind of feed off that.
We'll go Gary, and then Vince, and then Jesse.
Shea, this is the 5th time in your 8 seasons with the Golden Knights that you've been to the second round. What does it say about the organization that have that kind of a run?
I mean, I think ever since I got here, that's the message that, we want to win. The guys that we bring in, good character guys. I mean, that's the message right from Bill Foley. So, guys care about it every year. That's our goal when we come into training camp. And, it's good to see us, playing well, especially at the right times.
You score. Naber has 2 pretty big assists. You're out there on the ice at the very end. What's it like to be part of one of the best pairings in the NHL?
I mean, Naber's a special player. He's been in the league a long time, and, he can definitely surprise you with his offense. And, I think just kind of being trusted in those moments is good, and, I'm glad we got the job done.
We'll go Jesse, and then last question to Vince.
Shea, it seems like the whole team got better as the series went on, and that was no different for you. How do you, when you guys don't start the series the way you want to, how do you fight through that, and how do you stay confident and end up playing as well as you have the last couple games?
I mean, I think it's just kind of experience. Over the years, you kind of learn not to get, too shaken up early in series. Obviously, I think both teams are trying to figure each other out, and, you're trying to find your own game. Obviously, I didn't like my first couple games, so, I feel like the way I rebounded and kind of finished the series, that's kind of the style that I want to play, and, continue to do that going forward.
For Shea and Jack, not to take away from the overall win of the series, but that final handshake with Marc-Andre Fleury, the crowd, the reaction from his teammates, your teammates, just what did that mean to you, and to see that moment?
I mean, he's one of a kind. You know, he was special. You know, when he played here in Vegas, and you know, you see how loved around the league he is. You know, I think you just see how much fun he has. I think, you know, I saw his little mic'd up video, I think from last game, and you know, that's him to a T, whether it's practice or, you know, in a playoff game. So, you know, a hell of a career. You know, I'm proud, you know, to know him as well as I did, and you know, he's definitely a Hall of Famer in my opinion.